Hey folks, we want to introduce you to our newest advertiser on the Weekend Cutter, Precision Joint Solutions, and Miss Cherie Hecht. Cherie, thank you for being on the show and coming on board with us.
Well, thank you for asking us.
Well, I'll tell you what, we talked about this for a long time, and we actually put my horse on the product and got him going on it, and for almost 2 months before we did this. And we all wanted to feel really good, warm and fuzzy about what we were doing. And I tell you what, I'm riding a new horse.
That's great. It's great to hear.
These folks are seeing me show this horse that have seen me show him for years, wanting to know what I did to him. Well, you know, first I started leaving him with Paul Waters instead of keeping him at home. Secondly, it's been about 7 weeks now, 7.5 weeks, he's been on Precision Joint Solutions. You got to tell me and the rest of the world how this stuff works.
Well, what we did when we formulated this product is we have 2 key ingredients that is not out there in any other product on the market today. Our 2 key ingredients, the first one is the egg membrane, and then the second one is called serrapeptase enzymes.
Egg membranes. Okay, everybody's thinking they didn't know that eggs could be this beneficial other than breakfast.
Right.
Tell us where this egg membrane's coming from.
Okay, well, the egg membrane is actually a really fascinating ingredient because it's actually created the exact same source as your joint is. It actually contains all the natural benefits of the glucosamine, the chondroitin, the HA, and the collagen. And what this does, this actually can go in and rebuild the cartilage and the connective tissue. And that's our recovery part of the product.
Now, and the second part of this is serrapeptase.
Yes.
Explain what that is to us.
The serrapeptase enzyme is a really fascinating ingredient. It's actually derived from the silkworm, and it's found in the saliva of the silkworm that eats away the cocoon. Now, it's been used for over 30 years over in Europe for the huge anti-inflammatory benefits. So what we find with the serrapeptase is that it gives that benefit of the anti-inflammatories, and it actually also goes in and cleans out the toxins in the tissue and the free radicals that are in the tissue. So you're getting the benefits of all of those toxins, the free radicals being pulled out of the tissue, and then the huge benefits of the anti-inflammatory. And that's where we're seeing the results so quickly on the horses, is that as you decrease the inflammation, it increases the comfort of the horse.
Well, and we all know, and it's not just horses that have inflammation, we all have it. Athletes and just folks, everyday folks have inflammation. You get rid of that, and the healing process takes place so much faster.
Exactly.
Which has doubled up on my horse's recovery time.
So what we're finding is we're having a lot of clients coming back to us that the first thing they're noticing, especially with their older horses that are dealing with a lot of arthritic issues, is that the recovery time is so much better. Within the first couple of weeks, that's what they're noticing, is that their horses are going out, whether it be a rope horse or a barrel horse, and they normally have to go and do 2 or 3 competitions in a row, that they're actually coming back and feeling better the next day. And what we really wanted to do was make sure that when we put these things in there, that we use the best minerals out there. And so we made sure that all of our minerals are chelated, which basically means that the absorption is maximum on it, that when the horse eats it, that they're able to utilize all of the product.
Wow, that's such a big portion of an oral joint supplement or maintenance product. It has to go through the intestinal walls first, and so many other things to get to the bloodstream before it gets to the joints. The chelation process gets this product exactly where it needs to be.
Exactly. And just to simplify it, basically chelation is that if you have a vitamin or a mineral, it needs to be able to break down to a small enough molecule and bind to that molecule that it can get absorbed through the receptor side of the cells. So that way it can get absorbed into the bloodstream and be utilized. And if you don't go through that process, what happens is that it gets flushed out through the urinary system and not obviously used.
Sure.
So it costs a little bit more to do that, but at the end of the day, we looked at it and we said we want to put the best product out there, and we want to be able to actually say, yes, we have great ingredients in it, and yes, your horse is going to be able to absorb it and utilize it.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's so many products out there on the market. It's like a joint supplementation marketplace. Anytime you open a Western magazine or veterinary supplement magazine, I would rather you got to hear from some people that actually have had their horses on the product. You want to go see, Brad Schaefer.
Sure.
I'm fixing to go visit with Brad Schaefer. I want to talk to him about custom Playboy. And then I'm going to come back to you and tell you who else we're going to go see.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back. Well, folks, we're out here in Granbury, Texas with my good friend Brad Schaefer. Brad,
Kenny, how are you?
I'm doing fine. We come out here to talk to you a little bit about custom Playboy and this little blonde on your left here.
SDP, lots of lace.
I guess Buffalo Ranch breeding on there,
Yep.
and this is a own son of Playboy right here.
Yes, sir.
Both of these horses have one thing in common right now. What is it?
Precision joint solution.
Brad, he goes and he's sitting in the top 5 in 2 different classes in the ACHA right now. Qualified on Playboy to go to
Western Nationals
in Reno. These horses don't know they're supposed to be crippled. They're out there showing and doing a good job about it.
Well, what's happened is that their coats, their energy levels, just their all around trainability. They don't seem to be as sore. Their recovery time has been excellent, and we've been bringing home some checks and winning. And that's and staying healthy. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this 16-year-old. This horse has got a great career ahead of himself, and I think that the product has helped.
Yeah, that's amazing. Folks, let's go back to Cherie. I've got somebody else I want y'all to meet. Thanks, Brad.
Thanks for coming by, Ken.
Man, I'll see you at the next cutting.
You bet.
Well, Cherie, that's an amazing story. Custom Playboy should be retired, 3-legged in a pasture, and he's come back strong, and Brad is in the top 5 in 2 different classes. Perfect weekend warrior example. And he's on the product. Probably wouldn't have been on the product longer than anybody's horse.
Yeah, Playboy was actually one of our very first test subjects on the product. And during that process is when he injured his hamstring. So once he was done through the actual 90 days of testing, we continued to put him on it just because we felt like he was benefiting from it. And the lack of scar tissue and the fact that he's back in the ring, we're just thrilled. We're thrilled to see the difference in him.
That's amazing. Now, told you about Little Smart and Slick. You know, we've had him on it for about 7.5 weeks now, and don't take my word for it. Let's go see Paul Waters up in Gainesville. Paul's the one's been throwing a leg over this horse for a year now, and he's the one that's seen the change take place about 3.5 weeks ago.
Perfect.
We'll be going up to Paul Waters in Gainesville right now.
Hi, I'm Paul Waters, professional horse trainer, and I understand the high physical demands of today's competition and the great need for nutritional supplement. Our biggest combatants in older weekend horses are arthritis, inflammation, recovery time. I've been riding a horse for Kenny Emi for about a year, Little Smart and Slick, and we combat all 3 of these things: arthritis, inflammation, and recovery time. And it's tough to keep one sound when you're hauling it and keeping it tuned up and showing. Kenny come to me with Precision Joint Solution and asked if I would put Little Smart and Slick on this joint supplement. Reluctantly, I agreed. Reluctantly because I'm the world's greatest skeptic. I know most joint supplements don't work. Now, we had him on there for about 3 weeks, and in 3 weeks' time, I started noticing a little bit of difference, okay? When Kenny talked to me, I told him, here's the progress. We seen him move just a little better. By the 4th week, I was impressed. This horse moved better. He got through his exercise routine or workout regimes much better, was much brighter, and consistently moved better, and his recovery time from workout to workout or from hauling and showing the rigors thereof was reduced. Come back with little or no soreness, and the inflammation continued to go down. So we had a lot of positive results and continue to have positive results. I'm excited about Precision Joint Solution, and I look forward to using it on all of our other show horses. Thanks for having me today. I'm Paul Waters. Kenny, back to you.
Well, Cherie, I have to tell you, Paul Waters, that was your biggest skeptic, and you didn't even know it, but he's not a big fan of shots. He's not a big fan of oral joint supplementations. He's got, with his background, he's a trainer, but he's college educated, so he was really tough to sell. What sold him was riding Little Slick.
Yeah.
He's rode him for a year, and he's thrown a leg over him every day since we put him on this product. And he's sold. He's asked me to send him literature to read so he could better understand it. But the next thing I want to talk to everybody about is how easy it is to feed Precision Joint Solution. Cherie, show them the bag. This comes to you. This is a 1-month supply. It's no fuss, no mess. You pull one of these out every day, top dress it on top of their feed, and you're done. It's perfectly sealed. And tell them why you've got this so sealed. You've got some things in there that we want to keep fresh.
Exactly. One of the things we were looking at was we wanted to make it the ease for any rider, whether they're home or they're off competing every weekend. With the individual packets like this with a daily dosage, you can just grab a couple of packets and throw it in the car and go. But also because the serrapeptase enzymes are a live enzyme, we really want to protect the vitality of that enzyme. So we found that by doing the daily dosage, we can control the dosage amount, and we can also control the freshness of those enzymes, so that every amount that you get, every time you put a daily dosage in their feed, you're getting the freshness that you need.
Well, I tell you, it couldn't be any easier. Get a hold of them, precisionjointsolution.com. Cherie, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
For being on the show. And let's do this again here in about 60 or 90 days, because we've got horses on the product, and I'm sure that the stories are just going to keep better. You know, like I said, I'm riding a different horse because of Precision Joint Solution. Thanks for watching us.